Hello, I'm back once again with the edition of boxing predictions. I forgot which volume it is. Anyway, there are a couple or so interesting fights happening this weekend. And, let's go to the first one. It's Luis Colazo versus Kudratilo Abdukakorov. This is a welterweight fight, and Colazo has bounced back since getting stopped for the first time in his career by Keith Thurman a couple of years ago. So now he has since won some, had quite a few impressive fights since, considering that he's no longer in his best, in the peak of his career. And here he faces a guy that is a rather dangerous test for him. Abdukakorov is an Uzbekistan a rising contender. Let's say from Uzbekistan. He's a kind of recently he hasn't really scored many knockouts, but he has stopped Charles Manucci in one round, for instance. So he definitely has the power, but he also has the boxing skills, and I think he was a pretty good amateur. And fighters from Uzbekistan usually are quality, and so I kind of favor Abdukakorov to win here because mostly because Colazo is now already, I think, 38 or 9, something like that, 38, I think, and he's on his way down, while Abdukakorov, it will still, I expect him to give this Abdukakorov guy a tough fight still, despite all those facts, but it will be difficult for Colazo to win this fight, unless he should get, some help from the judges, but I hope not. I don't think anybody would now favor Colazo because he's on his way out and this guy is on his way up. So if he wins this, he may get a chance to win a world title, Abdukakorov. I hope that happens soon after this fight. So, yeah. I think it will be a rather competitive fight, but I don't think Abdukakorov will stop Colazo. Maybe there is a slight possibility, but I favor this to go the distance. Anyway, I think Abdukakorov wins on points. Yeah, so it will be, I guess, a good fight. And then there are a couple of smaller fights, in England. Lewis Ritson versus Robbie Davis Jr., for instance. This is a rather interesting fight because these guys are rather evenly matched. Both have one loss so far, and their record is actually identical. 19 wins and 1 loss, no draws. And both guys are, like to come forward, I guess, and slug it out. Ritson was, I've seen his fight against Patera, Francesco Patera, I believe his name is, and he started out very well, but then he kind of lost steam in the middle rounds, and I guess now he has learned his lesson that he shouldn't go all out too early in the fight. So I don't know really. Robbie Davis Jr. has been stopped only once. Of course, he's only lost once. He's been stopped in the 12th round by a guy called Michal Sirovatka. And then he beat that guy in the rematch the exact same way, a 12th round TKO. So, I don't know, I kind of favor Ritson here, but it's mostly because I have seen more of him than of Davis, but it's a pretty wide open fight. But anyway, my bet is on Ritson winning on points. Yeah. And then there was Ted Cheeseman also fighting against Scott Fitzgerald. That might be interesting. I know I spotted some flaws in Cheeseman's game the first time I watched him fight. That was last year, I believe. Um, he has one game plan. That is to go to the body and just bang away, just get his guy to the ropes and just bang away. And that's not always so effective. I mean, only against guys who really have a bad defense can't, or are, you know, weaker, not so ferocious, kind of timid fighters. But this guy Fitzgerald, he's actually undefeated. I don't really know that. I don't really know anything except his record that I read. And but he looks like somebody who may give Cheeseman a tough fight. And the same way as I kind of picked the last fight, the Redson fight, I kind of picked Cheeseman just because I know more about him and have seen him fight, and he's still not bad fighter definitely, but he has already lost once and drawn once. So while Fitzgerald is undefeated, that alone kind of gives him this air of being more invincible perhaps. But we will see, of course, when they collide in the ring. I think Cheeseman will win on points also. So I don't. I'm afraid all my picks are points decisions this time. And then of course the biggest fight of the weekend is a light heavyweight unification fight, actually, between WBC champion Alexander Gvozdyk and IBF champion Artur Beterbiev. This is a really, really, really good fight, really great fight, very important, and it will kind of determine who will be the new kingpin in the division. No matter what happens in that Kovalev versus Canelo fight. I mean, Canelo isn't gonna stay at light heavyweight even if he wins. I think I know it, and most of you know it. He's not a light heavyweight. He started out as a welterweight, for crying out loud. I mean, he's 5'9", and he may be super middleweight. Yeah, maybe he will stay. He will end his career. But anyway, and Kovalev is on his way out as well. I mean, he's had a couple of good fights. His last two fights were good performances, but he's at 35 and 36. So, and he has been knocked out more than once. So, anyway, both these guys are really, kind of come forward and hard hitting guys. And Beterbiev, all his victories are on or by KO, while also Gvozdyk, most of his victories are by knockout. So But I still think, well, I don't know really. Sometimes it's about who lands first, of course, who gets dropped first also. Perhaps I'd say maybe Gvozdyk is a little bit more complete fighter than Beterbiev, who really kind of depends on knocking the guy out and getting the punches, the big punches in. And yeah, I'm not really sure. I think, of course, there's a good possibility this will end in a knockout or a stoppage of some kind. But yeah, I kind of think that Gvozdyk will take home the victory, but on points, because I think he's a better fighter. Unless he gets caught, of course. He will kind of have a few shaky moments, definitely, but then he will kind of, take over in the second half of the fight, somewhere in the later half, and just kind of outbox and outpunch Beterbiev. I mean, Beterbiev hasn't gone past. Let's see his record. I don't think he's ever been past like 8 rounds or something. Just a second now. Yeah, Beterbiev. 14-0 all by KO. So, oh, bloody hell. Anyway, yeah, he hasn't really, well, doesn't really have many knockouts past the, yeah, 8 rounds or something. But while Gvozdyk has, of course, won the title by knocking out Stevenson in the 11th round, so that kind of proves that he's a rather patient and durable fighter who doesn't really need to stop his man before the 10th round to win. So that may give him the edge here, put it that way. But of course, it is a very dangerous fight for Gvozdyk and for Beterbiev. So yeah, I don't know really. I mean, so far Gvozdyk has faced at least one better opponent than Beterbiev has. That's Stevenson, of course, and he has also fought against Chilemba. I think Chilembe. Let's see, 17-0 with 14 KOs. Yeah, that's right. He beat Chilembe when Chilembe had to retire. And he also stopped Yunieski Gonzalez, yeah, in 3 rounds. So anyway, I kind of lean towards Gvozdyk winning. Maybe even by a stoppage, maybe, but it's not gonna be an easy fight for any of the two guys. Yeah, well, that was that for this time, and I hope you will enjoy the fights. I hope they will all be. I mean, the two main ones will be good. All right, so see you until next time.